Okay, density. Metals have really high density, we know that. The density of iron is 7.8 grams per centimeter cube. Can somebody tell me what the density of water is in terms of grams per centimeter cube? Density of water, anybody? Okay, so you're absolutely supposed to know this because that is the basis of all the other densities that we calculate. So you need to
1
know.
gram per milliliter.
1 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, so it's one.
Okay,
Answer is 1. Okay, so yeah, the density of water is 1, and that of iron metal is 7.8. So which is why when I put iron in the water, it sinks. So if all of our ships and all the other things, they are made out of iron, how is it that the ships don't sink in water? But if I take a coin, it sinks in water. Any idea?
Because ship is filled with air, right?
Yes,
So it reduces the average density.
Nope.
Physics, if you push down, the water pushes.
Exactly, yes, buoyancy. It's called buoyancy, and yes, physics. Okay, that's not the scope of this class, but that is the reason why ships don't sink. But if you take a small piece of iron and you put it in water, that will sink right down. Okay. All right. So exceptions to high density metals are sodium and potassium. They have low density, and that is why they are called light metals, and which is why they are on the left hand side of the periodic table, and the middle of the periodic is called heavy metals, right? So these are called light metals because they are less denser. Okay, yes. Malleability. Somebody mentioned that it is the property of beating metals into thin sheets, or property of being beaten into thin sheets with a hammer without breaking is called malleability. And the hammer that you use to beat these metals into thin sheets are called, the hammer is called mallet, M-A-L-L-E-T, okay? So that mallet is used to make these into thin sheets, which is why the property is called malleability. So the next time you get confused between ductility and malleability, remember DD, ductility is drawing into wires, malleability is malleting. With the help of a mallet, you make sheets out of the metals. Okay. So can somebody give me an example of the most malleable metal?
Aluminium.
Aluminum, yeah, to some extent, yes. But the most malleable. So gold and silver are the most malleable. Then comes aluminum and copper. Okay. Okay. So these metals can be beaten into very thin sheets called foils. Again, you have silver foils. Where are silver foils used?
Packing of food.
Yes, they're used.
And they put the sheets on sweets as well.
Yes, exactly. So they're used on top of sweets. That's right. Is gold foil also used?
Yeah, it's used on food. My mind was blown when it was used on a pizza.
It was used on a pizza? I did not know that they use it.
$70,000 pizza.
Wow, okay. Great. All right. So aluminum foils are also used for packaging, your food items, different things, medicines. So yeah, aluminum foils are used there. Copper sheets are used to make utensils and stuff. Then, yeah. Can you tell me what ductility is?
So it can be drawn into wires.
Very good. Yes, it can be drawn into wires. So can you give me examples of some metals that are very, very ductile?
Copper.
Copper, yes.
Copper.
What else? Can tell me, so there are metals that are more ductile than copper also. Give me examples of that.
Steel?
Nope. More than copper.
Aluminium.
Remember, steel is not a metal. Steel is an alloy. Okay, remember that.
Gold or silver? Or yes.
Very good. Yes, gold and silver. Okay.
Mind blown.
All right. So yeah, pretty much whenever you say something is malleable, you can also, like, more or less it's also ductile. Okay. So what is ductility? Ductility is the property of metals by which they can be drawn or stretched into thin wires. Okay. All right. So luster. Luster is, or it should come under appearance, but it is also mentioned as a separate property. So it's nothing but shine, and metals that can basically be polished. Can you give me examples of metals that can be polished?
Copper to some extent.
Polish is
Yes, copper.
gold,
Gold, yes.
which are really shiny, right? So can it be aluminium?
No.
Can
Aluminum.
iron come in to this if it rust comes on it, so will it come under the polishing? Like,
Yeah, so even if something is, it covers with rust, as long as you can make it shine later on, it's fine.
platinum?
What is brushed aluminium?
Brushed aluminum. Good question. I'm not sure. I don't know. Brushed aluminum. It's apparently a texture. So it's like what you see on your laptop. Sometimes you have like this. It's a kind of a texture.
So if you want to scratch something, you can just take a brush and just run it over?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. You take like a brush and you create those lines like thing, like hard brush. If you take and you create that, that's like brushed.
Yeah, steel brush or something?
Yeah. All right. So